We are currently at the Shangri-La Hotel in Colombo. Welcome to day 3 of the glamorous 3-day event, CFW Summer 22. And I'm your host, Kanish Fernando. Let's see what this final finale of this glamorous 3-day event has in store for us. Joining me right now is the beautiful Dialog Ch. How are you doing this evening?
Very good, very good.
So I heard that you're a huge fashion enthusiast.
I am very much. I don't miss CFW.
However, so this is your, which event is this?
I've been coming from 2011 or maybe 12.
That's quite a lot. And I got to ask you, you've been in various events, various themes, and with this year's theme with being environmental friendly, and I quite guess that's what you're trying to match today as well. What's your whole idea of the theme and everything like that?
So sustainability is is very important because we need to leave this planet to our next generations. So we need to use resources very scarcely. So I think this is intended to give a message, not only environmentally, but also there are other pillars such as social well-being and all of that. I saw even yesterday I was here, and some designers were focusing on women, violence and all of that. But today I'm looking forward to a fabulous show because some of my favorite designers are featuring. Charini, Sonali, and even Indi is featuring today. So they are on the top of their game. So I'm looking forward to a fabulous show.
Of course, and just day 3, the finale, the grand finale, I might call it that. And I got to ask you, since this is the night where everyone's living and breathing fashion, I got to ask you, what are you wearing tonight?
This is Sonali. Yes.
Fabulous, Dialog Ch. Have a wonderful evening and enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Joining me right now is Nisha. How are you doing this evening, Nisha?
Really good.
So CFW Summer 22, the last day ever for this glamorous, glorious 3-day event, right? So many adjectives. What are you what are you expecting from this event?
So I was actually here on both the first 2 days. Really looking forward to this show because I have quite a few of the designers are my friends, so I'm really looking forward to seeing their collections. So hopefully it's best for last.
So I assume that you've been to CFW countless times before, right? What makes you think this event, this year, although this is the first season with the different theme and everything with the environment friendly, what makes this differ from all the rest you've been into?
I think would have to be because it's an event post-COVID after, everyone's really looking forward to it, and maybe a lot more effort has gone into it because we've had so much setback. And I feel like it's just a newer perspective comparing to all the other years. So hopefully everyone's grown and learned from it. Yeah.
Well, since this is the night where we all live and breathe fashion, I got to ask you, what are you wearing tonight?
Okay, so the top is from Donna Karan. I've had it for a few years. The clutch is vintage. The pants are from Shea Int. Ring is bullions. Earrings from some tiny shop that I found while I was traveling. So yeah, and the makeup is by me. So
of course. With that said, here's a $1 billion question. Any favorite fashion designer or model in mind you're looking forward to tonight?
Fashion designer too. I'm really looking forward to seeing Charini's and Indi's collection. So yes.
Very cool. Thank you, Nisha. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Joining me right now is an individual who needs no special introduction. It's Sean from Magic Box Mix-Up. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, thanks. What's going on?
So I'm going to ask you, since we are living and breathing fashion, what are you wearing tonight?
I am wearing suit and tie.
The good old suit and tie never fails you, does it? So with that said, do you have any favorite fashion designers in mind, models in mind, looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to seeing Sayuri Jayaratna and Harini. And designers, to tell you the truth, today I'm going to be educated on that. And that's something I need to be educated on in Sri Lanka as well. So I think I've been a bit ignorant on that part. Oh yeah, actually Sonali. Sonali is a very, very good friend of mine, and I'm a very, very ardent fan of her work. So I'm looking forward to her stuff.
Wonderful, Sean. And all I got to say to you is rock on and enjoy the event. Joining me right now is the gorgeous Nashita. How are you doing this evening?
Hi, thank you. I'm well. How are you?
So I heard that you're a big CFW fan and you've been to multiple before. So what are you most looking forward to tonight?
I am looking forward to almost all designers' collection. Everyone has their own signature style, and yeah, really excited.
So since tonight is a place where we're living and breathing fashion, I got to ask you, since you're looking remarkably good looking, I got to say, what are you wearing tonight?
So I'm wearing Daisy Girl. My top is from Daisy Girl, and my pants are from Cotton. Yeah.
Cool. So I got to ask you, are there any favorite models in mind for looking forward to tonight?
Yeah. Amanda is amazing, and there are a few other models as well. Yeah, Sashini and all of them.
It's no secret that this CFW is very special because of the theme of this year. It's all about it being environmental friendly and all that. I got to ask you, what's your take on that?
I honestly think that the whole point of this color, the whole theme about sustainability is really important, and especially in today's world where there's a big climate change, and the main crisis is because of the human activity. So if all of us can do our bit to follow the rules and basically try to save the environment, it's really great. And I love that CFW always chooses to stick to a very sustainability theme. Yeah.
We have a wonderful evening since this last day. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Joining me right now is Tivon and Madhush. How are you guys doing this evening?
Yeah, we're doing great. Excited.
So I hear this is your first ever CFW.
Yes.
And sadly, you were joining on third day. This is the grand finale. I mean, this might be the home run show for you, because
Yes, I'm so excited about indie show.
So I would say that's your favorite designer. Any favorite model in mind?
No.
Alright. So you can't pick one because they're all beautiful in their own unique ways, right?
Pretty.
So if I got to ask you, what are your expectations? This is your first CFW. What do you expect from tonight's event?
I'm looking forward to see a good show with new designs, new talent.
I mean, CFW never fails to impress. I can tell you that much. So with that said, hope you have a wonderful evening.
You too.
And have a CFW to remember.
Thank you.
Joining me right now is none other than Fazeen. How are you doing this evening?
Very good, thank you.
Third day, the last day. Is it pretty emotional though?
Actually, pretty happy that the long work of 2 months have come to an end, and it's been very great. It's been successful, so quite happy.
So I got to ask you now, CFW is all about fashion, right? Especially about women and girls. And what are the precautions and the initiatives that CFW taken under for girls and women in fashion?
In terms of what we do, we are actually CFW, not CFW alone. The fashion industry is primarily consists of women, from the supply chain to the people who make it, to people who wear them, the people who showcase and model. So we've taken an initiative to create awareness for gender-based violence in that space. That's one of the new initiatives we're working on. We've been working on the past 2-3 years. Supported by the UNFPA, and that's one of the main things that we're working on right now.
Here's a very interesting question for you, by the way. Is there a balance between genders in fashion?
Biases actually exist in many industries, and if you're talking about equity, I think we have a long way to go. Having said that, the fashion scene in Colombo is there are quite a few female leaders and entrepreneurs, and also, like I said earlier, the industry itself is made up of 70 to 80% women working for it. So I think in that sense, the workforce and the environment is primarily female. Opportunities per se, like I said, I think maybe there's a long way to go.
Equality is key, I might add, right?
Yes, it is definitely key, and we are working towards it together.
Here's a very intriguing question. What are the most difficult challenges exposed to girls in the fashion industry today?
When I say fashion industry, like I said earlier, I think the inequity and the gender-based violence, that the production level and the supply chain level, the women who face that seems to be one of our biggest problems. And I think that is an issue that needs to be heard first and then change, because these are women who come in there to do their work, to feed their families. And there is violence in every form in that space, and I think that's the awareness that we'd like to create, and also maybe get them heard first.
If you don't mind me asking if you're able to discuss it, right? What are the future initiatives that you're planning to take on girls and women in the near future?
Awareness is key. Creating a platform for them to speak up, for them to know that this is not right, and that that's what we're doing with the UNFPA, creating that awareness, creating workshops even for our designers, right? So if they have women who work with them, they're able to first identify there's something actually wrong. Because what is the biggest problem that these women who are abused or violated think that it's okay to be that, and it's not. So for them to know that it's not okay, for them to be able to speak up, and women like us and even other designers and entrepreneurs who are probably not in a situation, but they have people working for them. So they need to be empowering and create that space for them to be able to speak up.
Well, here's another very interesting one, a billion-dollar question, I might add. Apart from CFW, what are the other stakeholders in the company would want to, assist women in fashion?
Well, fashion or any other industry, I think representation is key. So more women in leadership roles and board level is I think the way to go.
And this might be like a feel-good question for you as well, right? What's your most, the best advice you could give for up-and-coming fashion models, fashion designers who want to be just like, everyone here tonight?
I would say think outside the box. Be able to identify biases and do what you have to do and persevere.
Well, some might say unorthodox is the best way to go.
Perfectly fine with me.
And there you have it. Thank you so much, Fasina. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Here's an individual who needs no special introduction, one of my idols, I might add. Please welcome Hiroshi. How are you doing this evening?
Well, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I'm doing quite well and hope we're doing the same.
Yes, of course. And CFW is all about fashion, and I can see you're very fashion enthusiastic. I could ask you what you're wearing this evening.
Well, it's actually a custom made from one of my dear friends. And I think what really inspired this look is probably something minimalist, and it's a weekend mood for me. And overall, I'm here to really enjoy some really fresh, fashionable work on the platform. So let's see how it goes.
Speaking of which, any favorite fashion designers or models in mind you were looking forward in meeting tonight?
Oh, there's quite a bit, and I think it's going to be injustifiable given that if I mention just a couple. So I have to say I equally have massive respect and love for all of them. So wishing them the very best.
I guess what makes this CFW so special than the rest is because of the theme, environmental friendly and all of that. What's your take on that?
I think it's when it comes to any avenue, more than the intensity you're trying to create, it's about sustainability. And I feel like the more you realize it has consequences, the less you like to enjoy something, knowing that it has bad consequences. So when it comes to circularity, especially with CFW from last year onwards, they're trying to actually bring the whole circularity aspect, the sustainability aspect into the platform. And I think taking responsibility in what brings us pleasure is what's going to take us forward as a civilization. So I think it's really, really important when it comes to fashion.
I couldn't have said that better myself. Thank you so much, Hiroshi. Have a wonderful evening. Joining me right now is the one, the only Amanda. How are you doing this evening?
Last time you did this also, you hyped me up so much. This time you still hyped me up, bro. Thank you so much. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
I give CFW too much credit because you never failed to impress me as well, because you were doing amazing out there.
It's the designers, you guys, all right? And the cameraman and the lights. I just walk, dude. I walk, I do this, and then I walk by. It's all of them. I bet the thing. But thank you.
Hey, speaking of which, right? Which outfit that made you feel like home? Which was like literally made for you? Which design and which outfit?
Oh, this might sound me being a bit pompous, but Mr. Fawzal Hamid's son Mikhail did this very, as far as I know, it's a Japanese chic outfit, and he topped it off with this Julius Caesar, the floral thing on top. That kind of made you feel like not superior, but like a walking god. That I love, and it was like short sleeve and long sleeve at the same time. It's all the combinations, all the layers. I love that the most.
Walking God, huh? So you've been in multiple CFWs, right? And since today is the final day for this season, of course there'll be many more seasons to come. How was the CFW for your summer 22?
Interesting. It was an interesting twist. Some brands that I generally work with have come up with their own little twist of that. For example, Lowy came up with the whole "Let's Play" thing. That was awesome. It was also. It's always fun to do Hamadias. It's always fun to do. The coolest part about all this was that now that COVID technically is a bit more relaxed and our borders are now more open, the Indian agency came back down, and that allowed some Indian as well as Pakistani designers to come and flourish us with their brands as well. That was very interesting. I loved it, man. I absolutely loved it.
So I know you've been a part of every rundown throughout the show. What was your favorite part, though? Is it really tough to pick one?
It's not that tough, actually. My favorites will always be the brands I work with. So Lovi and Mikhail. I mean, Hamidi is sure, but by far Lovi and Mikhail.
And there you have it. You didn't hear it from me, you heard it from Amanda. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Can't wait to meet you next season as well.
Next season again, bro.
All right. Joining me right now is the beautiful Sawana. How are you doing this evening?
Hi, I'm doing great, thanks.
I'll tell you right now, you were one of my personal favorites throughout the entire CFW for all 3 days straight. Like you were miraculous out there. So I got to ask you, you've been in multiple CFWs, of course, no questions asked. And I got to ask you, how was this event apart from the others?
This one was very, very fast. So we had a lot of quick changes. It was good, but the energy was high and really enjoyed it.
And here's the billion dollar question. You've been a part of, like, you were wearing multiple attires over and over again, apart from like multiple fashion designers, right? Which attire made you feel like home, like it was like made for you?
Ooh. I really liked Indy's one, which is the last one, the finale. It was a jumpsuit, and she also said when she was picking us, she said this one's for Savannah, so yeah.
Since you were part of the whole show, of course, what was your favorite part?
My favorite part, it's actually just hanging out with the girls and chatting with them and spending time with each other, and also with our roommates. having fun with that, but also the show itself, obviously. Yeah.
Very well said, someone. It's been a pleasure meeting you. See you next season as well. Can't wait to meet you. Introduction is Charini. How are you doing this evening?
Very good. Relieved that the show is over. My segment is over.
I absolutely loved your segment. So do many other people. But what's your favorite part within this event?
What's your favorite part? Well, I like the one with the 3D birds and the fitted dresses because we want to take a different look to what we used to do. Because I just want to move from doing more fluid drapey dresses to more fitted and more sexier dresses. So, yeah.
So you've been working on multiple attires, right? But what was your favorite one? And which attire made you feel like this girl or boy could wear this proper? This was made for him.
So I would say each piece we do pick for that person. So we when we do the fit-ons, we do that it's a conscious decision. So when we do the collection, we look at who can pull it off well, which personality suits that particular dress. So it anyway happens with each garment.
So how was CFW Summer 22 in a whole? I've asked you this question before. What's this differ from all the other CFWs you've been a part of? So what's your overall thoughts now since it's the final day?
Oh, like I would have told you before, I'm so glad to see people in real life and, celebrate fashion. And it's wonderful to see how people are enjoying and also how well dressed they are. So it's so refreshing to see Colombo, celebrating fashion like this.
Without a doubt. And Charini, you've done it once again. You're miraculous. Can't wait to meet you next season as well.
Thank you so much.
Joining me right now is another individual who needs no special introduction. She is Miss Sri Lanka for Miss World 2021, Shadi Greenwood. How are you doing this evening?
I'm having a fabulous evening. Just finished CFW Day 3. Saw some amazing designs today and amazing collections. Superb. Yeah.
Well, the billion-dollar question is, what was your favorite part? I know you've been a part of CFW for multiple years. And what was your favorite part this time?
I think all the collections were just fabulous. Charini, Indie, Agara by Nilu, just absolutely phenomenal collections this year. And honestly, it was such an amazing finale, like a final day. It was really lovely. Yeah.
Well, here's a tricky question for you. What was your favorite fashion designer? I know it's pretty unfair to pick one, but you gotta know.
Well, that's going to be a hard one, but I think it was a tie. I think it was Indie, Charini, and I think it was also Agra by Nilu. I can't pick. It's too hard.
Any favorite models you saw out there?
Oh, I saw a lot of familiar faces. I used to do model at CFW in previous years, so a lot of familiar faces, and it was really lovely to see them again, especially in a different perspective on stage, you know, like, and me sitting down. So it was lovely to see them again. Yeah.
Well, here's a cliffhanger of a question. Will we see you on CFW next season?
To be continued, but yes, most probably.
Expect the unexpected. That's what I always say. Thank you so much, Shadi. Have a good evening.
You too.
Joining me right now is the beautiful Deandra and her manager, Kosh. How are you guys doing this evening?
It's fun, like enjoyed a lot, loving seeing my girl on the ramp, and they were fabulous as always, so yeah, I'm loving it.
I gotta tell you something, you never fail to impress us, and you must be proud of that, right? You guys have been a part of multiple CFWs. How was Summer 22 for you?
It's different. I love the whole, anyways, CFW has been very responsible fashion and it's so good and I love it, and you know, because she's Miss Earth Sri Lanka and I'm the national director for that as well. So like, you know, for both of us it's very close, something close to our heart, like being responsible and protecting Earth. So I think they're doing a fabulous job, and the collection. I love the Indian designers, the Pakistan designers. I love Charini's and Sonali's. So like, you know, I love Charini's outfits, so they're fabulous.
Of course, and I got to ask you, Deandra, which outfit made you feel like home, like this was meant for you, and you alone?
I can't pick. I loved it all. I would say the finale with Indie, that was my favorite.
And since you were a part of the show, obviously all 3 days, what was your favorite part of the show?
My favorite part?
I think the dinner. She loves eating.
Well, my favorite part of the show, I would say, is just like us all, like the teamwork and everything that happens backstage that you don't get to see. And yeah.
Wonderful. Hope you guys, I get to see you guys next season as well. Looking forward to seeing the ramp as well again. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Joining me right now is the one and only Indie. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm relieved and happy and overjoyed. So many feelings.
So you should, because you're the talk of the town now. I've interviewed multiple models and I've asked them who's their favorite designer, what was their favorite part of CFW this time. It was all Indie. Indie this, Indie that. Wonderful finale.
Thank you.
Suitable for an event like this. And I got to ask you, you've been in multiple CFWs. How was this CFW Summer 2022?
Oh, well, we all had a hard time and we are coming out. I think we came out with a bang. So CFW has always been that platform where you know, dress up and come out, and we as designers get to celebrate what we do.
Well, since you're a fashion designer, I got to ask you, this is like a billion-dollar question for you. Which attire made you feel like, wow, this boy or this girl could wear it the most, probably?
From my collection or from
your collection, of course.
Oh, well, my collection was fluid. It's for everyone. Girl to boy to lady to man to, like, you know, it's a full range. So it's gender fluid.
So I can't wait to see you next season what you would come up with. I think that's everyone's best question right about now. And I got to tell you one more thing. In one word, try to describe CFW Summer 2022.
A celebration.
Without a doubt. And there you have it. Thank you so much, Indie. It's been a pleasure.